Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A Mummer Story. Today, I'm joined with Elizabeth Danford from Uptown Stringband.
Mhm. Hi,
How you doing?
I'm great actually. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, I'm not too familiar with Uptown Stringband. Where are you guys located?
We're up in Bucks County, so in like the Pendle area.
Okay, and I'm assuming that's where you're from as well.
Yeah, I'm from like Yardley, so about 15 minutes away.
Very cool. Very cool. So, let me ask you a question. How did you get involved with the Mummers, and who got you involved?
So my whole family has been involved since I think like the late 80s. My dad and the rest of my family were all in Furco. So they've made a pretty big name for themselves. And ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be on the street, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to because I am a girl. But once I got older, I was able to join and I picked Uptown, and it was the greatest decision I ever made. So
Nice. So, what instrument do you play?
I play tenor sax.
Now, what is a tenor sax? I heard that there's three different types of saxophones.
There's actually five.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so there's the soprano, alto, tenor, bari, and the bass. The tenor is the one with like the curved bell, and it's a little bit bigger. We always say it's a shrunken bari sax. So like you put it in the dryer, and that's how big it is. And it's one step above an alto. So
Wow. Now, did you always play the saxophone? Like, did you learn that through school, or is it something? Now, I heard some people when they just get involved in the string bands, they start to learn, and that's how they go about, learning their instrument.
yeah, well, when I was in fourth grade, we changed schools, and I found our school had a music program, and my dad played the saxophone. So I was like, that's what I want to play. So I asked the band teacher, and he let me start out on alto. And then once I got into middle school, I changed to tenor and then bari. And then whenever I was marching, I always just stayed with tenor.
Cool. So, were you always a band member, or you? Because I know sometimes people they start off marshalling, or somehow they're involved. Were
Yeah,
you doing something like that, or were you right into the music?
I was right into the music. I didn't really have any desire to marshal. I just wanted to be in costume on the street. So I asked our president, I was like, can I please play? And he said, yeah.
So let's talk about your first parade.
Mhm.
Your very first time. You guys are on Broad Street. Maybe you got a couple bands ahead of you.
Mhm.
What was going through your body, adrenaline, and if anybody was to give you any kind of advice, who was it? What did they tell you?
I was definitely feeling exhilarated. I had so many emotions because it was my first time, and it was like I was living out the first dream I ever had since I was a little girl. And it was crazy because I think my dad was a couple bands behind me, and I could like think in my head like he's cheering me on right now. And it was actually my mom. She texted me that morning. She's like, "Don't care about what the judges say. Just go out there and have the best time ever." And it was our zombie year, so it was 2019. So it was just an amazing experience. And I actually cried afterwards because I was just so overwhelmed with emotions. And it was such a fun time. And the people I met and just being under those lights was a dream come true. So,
So you're with Uptown, and your dad at the time was with Furco.
yes.
Now, is everybody all in the same band now, or
Yeah. So they all were in Furco. My dad was the first to join. And then my uncles, my grandfather, and then my brother joined. And they recently retired last year, the year before. At least my grandfather did. My dad and uncles are still iffy, but they left a couple years ago or last year.
so? What's it like being a female member? Like you said, you're. I mean, I don't know what year it all came into place, but I mean,
Mhm.
I'm hearing if it wasn't for women in some string bands, a couple of these organizations would have folded. So,
Right.
what's it like? Tell everybody what's it like being a female member.
It's definitely has its ups and downs for sure. But I think the best part about it is that we get to bring more diversity into it, and we get to teach like our future daughters and nieces about such a wonderful experience. And not being able to join because I was a girl definitely had some impacts on me, and different things that have been said to me when I mentioned that I wanted to join was definitely hard. But I think every girl should at least try it because it is a life-changing experience. And I don't know, it's just amazing.
I always said I'm looking forward to and it's got to be coming soon. The
Mhm.
all-female string band one time.
I really hope so. And I hope I can be a part of that beginning movement.
I think you girls would take it by storm. I think some of these top bands will be in trouble.
I think so, honestly.
So you said your first New Year's Day was 2019.
Mhm.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you this question. It's a short period of time. So during that course of time, did you have any any blunders, anything? Did you mess up anywhere? Or were you just right on cue?
Um, I definitely did. When I am playing for a group of people, I do get a little nervous because there's so many talented people around me. So when I am playing, it's just I kind of just try to block that out. But then, it's much different from being in a concert band to, mummers, because when I first joined, I was playing everything exactly as written, very classic, very concert band, if you will. And, I was talking to Thor and he was like,
I heard that name.
yeah, you
I
just
heard
need
that
to
name before.
balls to the walls, just
Oh
play as
wow.
loud as you can or as small as you can. And that really just changed my perspective. So that was definitely a big bump. And I'm also a very emotional person. So if I messed up anywhere, I'd always think I was like kind of disappointing him as well as the music director. So I would always try to just do my best. And they were just like, you're doing fine. So
Very cool. So in your short period of time doing the Mummers Parade, how do you feel? Like, have you when you guys did your performance, was it always daytime? Was it nighttime? Because I know the parade's changed over the years because there's less bands. But I guess my question is, I've been asking a lot of people, would you prefer playing during the daytime or would you prefer playing at nighttime? Because as a viewer
mhm.
watching it on TV, at nighttime, you get the full effect. You get the lights coming down, and really the costumes are gleaming. It just presents a better show. What
Mhm.
do you feel would be the best time for the mummers to play?
It honestly just depends on the theme. Like if you were doing kind of like a scary or a Halloween type of theme, I would definitely recommend night. But if you were just doing like an upbeat, fun, maybe space or scarecrows or something like that, then I would say during the day. But I definitely like performing during the day, especially if it's cold. So kind of get out of there faster. But definitely for the mood and everything, I would say nighttime all the way.
One of my new questions I was asking: do you have your instrument on standby to play us a tune? If not, that's completely okay.
It's actually in my car, so not currently
Oh
on me. I know.
no, that's no problem. I'm gonna get somebody someday. So let's see. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to while we're having this thing, or any
um,
special requests?
I don't know, probably just my dad. Like, hey, because I know he's gonna be watching. So
Yeah, where's your dad? I'm sure he's got some great stories.
yeah, well, actually, I'm up at my college right now, but he's at home and I've heard every story in the books. It's such an amazing time that, I got to experience with him and myself. And now
Cool.
I get to give my own stories to him.
So, what were you more intrigued by? Growing up, did you remember more of your dad, or you said your grandfather was in the parade as well? Who
Yeah.
did you grow up emulating during that time?
Definitely my dad. When I was younger, we weren't really close, but I always wanted to be just like him musically and always just be on the street with him. And that was a big goal of mine. But when they finally started letting girls in, they left. So I wasn't able to do that. But I definitely always just wanted to make him proud and just, have something in common with him and be able to talk about and have our own thing rather than a bunch of separate hobbies.
So being in college, I'm sure you probably talked to your roommates or whatever about the mummers parade. Do they ever ask you any questions? Do you feel like a rock star? Like, what kind of feedback do you get?
Honestly, when I'm up there, a lot more people know about the mummers than where I live. I normally live right outside of Philly, but Westchester's like 45 minutes away. So it's definitely crazy. And I met a couple mummers up there, which is blows my mind. And yeah, they all give me a bunch of comments like, oh, I watch you on TV. Oh yeah, I've seen that band. Like I know what you're talking about. And I'm just like, really? Because no one I know knows what that is.
Very
So,
cool. What are you, Westchester?
mhm,
You're a Golden Ram?
I am.
My son, he's a Golden Ram alumni.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, yeah. What are you taking up?
Education.
Very cool. Very cool. My son wind up being a holy Christ, what the hell was he? Finance. He was a finance major. Now
Wow.
he's handling $1 million accounts. Of course, I'm not getting none of that money.
I can't do math, so all praise to him.
So okay. So let me ask you this question. You got your dad in Furco and you're in Uptowners. And I know it's winning is big, right? And then some people say it's about performance. But is there any like with families being in different string bands? Is there any kind of like small rivalry there or what?
A little bit. It was actually kind of funny. My mom and my grandmother, because my grandmom's my dad's mom, so they made sweatshirts that says like united like by band, but forever like a family or something. And actually in 2020, our gambler year beat Furco, and I was supposed to go pick up my parents to bring them home and everything. I drove down 95 at 100 miles an hour. I ran into that clubhouse and I literally looked every person in the face. I'm like, haha, I beat you. And they weren't all happy with me that night. But then my dad came home and he laughed. He's like, they deserve that.
What, as a viewer, I guess my next question be, um, we see things a lot differently, especially people who've been involved. Like I was never a mummer. I have friends that are mummers, but I've
Mhm,
grown up watching the mummers for years. And doing
mhm,
these interviews with you guys to me is absolutely amazing. But my question is about the judging. As a
mhm.
viewer, a lot of times at the end of the program, I feel somebody else deserved that first place. How do you
Yeah.
feel how the judging's been? You think it's good or?
Um, Honestly, not really. Especially this year, a lot of people thought one band was going to win and then a different band won, and we were kind of surprised. And the past couple years, I've been pretty surprised. So it probably varies just depending on kind of what they're looking for. A lot of them go for musicality and like a big wow factor in it. They like costumes, but it's more so just basically not really about the production, which is kind of upsetting because some bands can put on an amazing show, but then one band can have an amazing prop that they go for, or vice versa. So it definitely is challenging at times, but I mean, they do their best. And I know some of the judges, so I get their feedback because one of them was actually my band director in high school. So
So in final, is there anything for viewers that'll watch us, mummery wise, that you would like to explain to people or
um probably about how the costumes are made. I
yeah,
get
go
that
for it.
question a lot. So basically when I was growing up, people would actually, we wouldn't like send it out to like costume people. People would actually sit in like basements or in like studios and hand make them and like sew them. And it would take like probably millions of sequins to do each costume. And it's honestly their works of art. And if anyone goes down to the Mummers Museum, you can see all the talent throughout the years because like back in like the 50s or 40s, you couldn't just send it off to a shop. Like you had to do it yourself. And I always found that really intriguing. So when people ever ask me like, oh, like who makes them? Like, do you send them out? Like, no, we make them here. I physically have never made one, but my mom has, and she said it's very challenging. So kudos to all the costume people and bands.
So let me ask you this question. I just had another question that popped up in my mind about this. So Uptowners, do you guys, and now I know a lot of with the mummers, I mean, it's expensive getting these costumes,
Mhm.
whatever. Do you guys, for everybody that's going to watch, do you guys have any fundraisers that are coming up? Any special events that help you guys raise money?
Yeah, so basically we just make a lot of our money off jobs and also hall rentals. So if anyone has a Sweet 16, a lot of people really like to come in our club because it's not too big where you're overwhelmed by how much space and feeling you have to fill it, but it's just the right amount that you can have like maybe 40 or 50 people just come and hang out. And it definitely is fun. I don't really know off the top of my head. Caitlin Dory is probably going to kill me, so I'm sorry. I don't really know any of the top of my head what we have coming up, but definitely check out our Facebook and our Instagram for a lot of fun stuff. It's just the Uptown String Band. So
Just Uptown. So if somebody's searching that, it's just Uptown String Band. What's that
Mhm.
on Facebook and just Google search?
Yep, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Google, everything.
Very cool. Well, it was an honor and a pleasure having you on here. And I'm going to tell you, and I said this the past couple of times with the girls I've interviewed, you guys are beating these guys on these interviews. The energy I get, the vibe I get off you guys. And I'm
Mhm.
telling you, if you guys have your own string band thing, you guys are going to take it.
Who knows? Maybe there's something in the works. You never know.
Hey, so my question to you is, are you ready for some Philly trivia?
I could try.
So we all know Philadelphia is known for its food and its locations or stuff. And recently there's been some controversies, right? So
Yeah.
let me ask this question. When it comes to ice cream, is it called sprinkles or Jimmy's?
If it's chocolate, then it's sprinkle. No, it's Jimmy's, but if it's rainbow, then it's sprinkles.
You're the second person that said that.
Really? Is it right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to watch the videos. So another one of the ladies had said that. So I didn't know that. To me, as an older guy, I mean, Jimmy's were always Jimmy's regardless, but there you go. So let me
Yeah.
ask you this question. When it comes to Wildwood, New Jersey, are you a Wildwood gal?
Of course.
Pizza, is it Sam's or Max?
Max.
Yeah, no way. She said Max.
100% Max.
Really?
Yeah, they're so great. The people there are so nice. They know my mom, which is awesome.
Okay,
And
case closed. Case
their
closed.
their prices are just amazing. And
Cool.
their vibe is just so much better. And the food.
Really? I respect your answer. Only because they know my mom.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the shores,
Mhm.
so you have Wildwood, Avalon, Sea Isle. Everyone's got their own favorite. What's yours? What's your favorite destination?
Oof. I'm gonna have to say probably Cape May. I love
Really?
Yeah, that's where my parents got engaged. My grandparents had a house down there. It's so much fun. And my mom works down there, which is awesome.
Hey, my mom seems to be the big hit.
Oh yeah, she
Is
is.
my mom involved in the mummers?
All her boys are in the mummers, and even like she goes to every single parade, even the one that was like 2 degrees. She was the only person in the judges' stands.
Oh wow. Well,
Mhm.
you tell your brothers and your dad, we got to get them on here.
I will most.
Everybody has a story.
Yeah, they should. My brother might be a little harder because he was a Peter Pan in their Peter Pan year, in their
Uh-oh.
Neverland year, and like he is so afraid that someone's gonna ask him about his tights. They were mine.
So my final Philly question: when it comes to cheesesteak, is it with or without?
Without.
Really? Hey,
Yeah.
listen, I respect all your answers.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, Lizzie, I want to thank you again for taking time away. I know you're probably studying hard, and I wish you the best of luck
Thank you
in
so
school.
much.
What year are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
Thank
So I
you.
wish you all the best of luck and go Golden Rams. And
Mhm.
I'll see you guys in 2023.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yep. Take care.
You as well.